Hey everybody, welcome to my channel. If you are an old friend, then welcome back. If you haven't already, please like, share, and subscribe to the video and or the channel as a whole. I have already lit the Evil Eye candle, and we're going to ask that our ancestors, ascended masters, angels, spirit guides, and all supernatural and or spiritual beings help us to return to sender all negative energies, entities, and intentions. Block, rebuke, and reject all evil eye, envy, jealousy, anger, resentment sent towards us, and return it to whence it came. So mote it be, right? And we ask that we clear and cleanse the energy. We want to bring in and only allow in all that is good for our best and highest good. So, I have some new equipment. I hope it's working. And I would like to be able to give you all the best reads possible, okay, an enjoyable experience, because I would like for everyone to have a good time, receive a good message, and want to come back for more. So, let's see. I want to get a message. But I want to ask that, there are certain energies that have been around on this channel for a very long time that tend to dominate every reading, and I would like to ask that we keep those energies out. We are in a point in our timeline where we have already defeated these energies, these entities, these people, okay, in our lives. And we just want to be able to move forward now and get out of these energies, get these energies out of our energy once and for all. So, I am going to ask Spirit to give us a message. What do we need to know about the current energies right now? Not including, who and what I'm talking about, please. Let's keep them out of it. All right. Now, that being said, to start this deck. Spirit, what's the message? What do you want us to know? What do we need to know? Healer. That is the goal. That is the intention. To heal. We want to move forward, healed. Healing is a process. It doesn't happen overnight. But it is about clearing and cleansing your energy, right? Fixing your energy. Maybe you had had gotten to be to a point where you were part of the problem, right? Where you didn't have good energy. And you're trying to figure out how to fix that. And it starts with clearing and cleansing, yes, your own energy, but those around you as well. Those who don't have or carry good energy of their own might have to go. In order for you to be able to protect your peace and continue healing yourself and your own energy. You know, some of this is about being able to recognize and discern and make good choices about who you allow into your energy, into your home, into your life. And part of taking back your power means recognizing that you have the ability to choose and control who you allow in your life. If you don't like the people you work with, you have the choice, the freedom to get another job. Whether you have faith and confidence that you could actually do that or not, you know, that's something you may have to work on. But ultimately, if it's something that you feel would be in your best interests, if you have faith, take the leap and good things will come. Now, I'm not saying quit your job, but I am saying maybe start putting resumes out there at other places. You know what I mean? Being a healer, it's not just about having good energy, giving off good energy. It's about making good choices in order to get to and keep that good energy. What else? And that one came right out the gate, you know? There's no accident for sure. Pioneer. You are a leader. You are a light in the dark, okay? You have this good healing energy, and your energy spreads far and wide, okay, in a positive way, that you help clear the way for others, okay? You have this energy. It's bright, you know? That's why you are a leader, because your light shines further and farther, because your light shines brighter. You understand things on an energetic level. And if you don't, then you need to work on that. That's what this is saying. But very much so that you pave the way for others. You may be learning techniques like breathing techniques, meditation, affirmations, things like this, in order to help heal your own energy and also possible future generations, okay? So you are doing the work, okay, not only for yourself, but for others, or that even the work that you're doing, you may not see how what you are doing has a positive effect on others. Happy ever after, so let's just keep going and see what comes out. I just dropped a whole bunch. narc, happy ever after, controlling, murder, hopeful, eyes, and love. Alright, so as of right now, part of what I'm getting here is you have a new home, okay? Even if you don't actually have a new home, for some of you it could be literal, but for others it just means you have a new energy, right? A new center, a new state of being, okay? A new status quo, if you will. And there's always going to be some narcissistic energy trying to ruin that for you, okay? There's always going to be someone giving you the evil eye, someone watching you, someone who sees what you have, what you are, and wants to destroy it. I don't know why that is, but that's just the world that we live in. Maybe because more people aren't healed. But understand that the ultimate goal, the long-term vision here for and from the universe is to get more people to be healed from these narcissistic energies. You know, from having had to deal with them, but also from being them. You know, you may have been there, right? You may have been a narcissistic person or had narcissistic tendencies. We all do to some degree. But I feel like the goal here is to murder or kill your own ego. That's part of the process. It's part of the healing process. It's part of the journey that we all must go on in order to get to the good part. And it's a little bit of like kill or be killed energy, right? With a narcissist, they feel like everything and everyone is competition, is something or someone that they have to control. That they have to get one over on, right? That they have to compete with in order to receive their happy ever after. But ultimately, we know, right, that everyone can get happy ever after if they're healed. Because we realize that it's not about competing with other people. It's just about getting yourself to a point and a place energetically where you are satisfied, where you don't feel the need to compete, control, or hurt other people, where you don't have envy, anger, resentment for other people anymore. And that you too, you know, you can have a new home. You can have a new way, a new state of being. We all can. It's achievable to each and every one of us if we're willing to unlock our minds, kill the ego, and embrace hopefulness, what's to come, in a good energy, and bringing in more good energies. And also only allowing in to your new home, your new life, whatever that may be, right? Your new state of being, that which is good. All right. What else do we need to know about that? Judgment. It's about having gone through judgment, either some kind of persecution that you were put through or that you put yourself under, right? You know, we talk in Christianity and in the church and the Bible about holding yourself accountable, you know, calling judgment on those parts of yourselves that may not be so pretty. And I feel like that is a big difference between good Christians, right? Actual Christians who talk the talk and walk the walk, is the ability to call judgment on yourself. To say, you know what? You know, I was doing things wrong, and I want to fix it and make it right and do things better. But this is also Angel Gabriel blowing the horn. This is the powers that be calling judgment, saying enough is enough on the negative energies, on the people who refuse to call judgment on themselves. Judgment is here, whether we like it or not, whether you want to admit it or not. Judgment is here. There is judgment in the energy. You are being judged not only by society, by the people around you, but by God and spirit alike. And the consequences, the repercussions are unavoidable. This is a reckoning. You can't run from it. It's coming for you, baby. Whether you want to or not, you can't run. You can't hide from spirit, from who you are, from who you've been, and who you're going to become. You can try to fight it. You can try to change it. But ultimately, God is in control. And God will make sure that you learn whatever it is you need to learn. You can't escape justice. You can't escape God. You cannot escape your day of reckoning. You are going to go in front of the judge and be held accountable for your actions, your behavior, your decisions. You know, God has mercy on those who are willing and able to call judgment on themselves. It's a lot easier. I am getting a bit of tribulation here, in that now is the time of tribulation. Those who called judgment on themselves and allowed themselves to be molded willingly are going to have a much easier time of it, because they've really already been through their tribulation, than those who have avoided their day of reckoning. It's going to be much harder for those who resisted the change, because it's happening. Whether we wanted to or not, you cannot fight the universe. This is an energetic, planetary placement kind of thing that you cannot control. That's part of the thing, is that, you know, realizing that we are not in control. God is in control, and to start allowing God to be in control and work with God, the universe, the energies, rather than against them. Because you're going to be set straight. God is going to put everything into alignment. And I do have to say that for some, if they continue to refuse to work with God, to work with the energy, to resist, the universe, then there's going to be a lot of bad endings for those people, because the universe will get what it wants one way or another. From dust we came, and dust we will become again. And this is in the dark, right side up. Some of us are being judged for the people that we chose to partner with. Some of us are being judged for how we treated the relationships that we had. And a lot of this healing is about, like I said, only allowing people into your energy, only partnering with people who have good energy, good intentions, who are in alignment with your new life, your new home, your new energy, your new way of being. And it can be difficult to recognize and discern who is who, and use good judgment. But that is what we are being called to do. So if this is something that is difficult for you, then pray. Ask God in spirit to help lead you and guide you through this major energy shift, change, power dynamic, whatever it is that you want to call it, that we're going through right now. It does require, like I said, working with the energies, and the lovers here, it's like partnering with, working with, in harmony, the energies of the universe, of the angels, right? Calling judgment, the archangels, the high-level angels who have a job to do, and they are going to get it done one way or another. Either you start working with them, or things are not going to be going very well for you. And at this point, I can't imagine that they've been going all that great anyways. But just know, it can get worse. What else do we need to know? The star. It's about healing. We are at a crossroads, okay? Where we are coming out of the age of Pisces and into the age of Aquarius. I have said this many times before, but it is like we are waking up from the dream, which has been more like a nightmare, and starting to heal. We are at this energetic crossroads. And the universe has decided where we need to go from here. And it's towards healing. And the universe is going to get what it wants. Like I said, one way or another. You cannot fight the universe. And the more you try, the harder it's going to be. Six of Wands. I feel like the good guys won, okay? A lot of this energetic stuff has a lot to do with as above, so below. What is loosed in heaven will be loosed in the world, and vice versa. I feel like we have reached a turning point where enough people have recognized what's wrong with them and the world as a whole, and they're willing to make the changes necessary to better themselves and the world as a whole. And they may or may not realize that this has caused a victory universally throughout the entire universe. And it all begins with allowing yourself to be judged by God, and working with God and the angels and the universe and whatever else you want to call it to do better and be better, right? That even if you were a narc at some point in time, that you don't have to be that anymore. That there is victory in healing. There is victory in being in a good energy, having good energy, sending good energy to others, and receiving good energy. And understanding too, I feel like with the Lovers and the Star and the Six of Wands, it's like, do unto others as you would, especially Judgment, do unto others as you would have them do unto you. It's the golden rule for a reason. Love thy neighbor. Treat thy neighbor as you would want to be treated. Sometimes it is the simplest of things that is the hardest to understand and implement into our daily lives. But these are some of the lessons that we are learning. For some of us, the hard way. Page of Wands. This is about, again, good energy, good news, good messages, freedom, exploration, exploring the whole new world of possibilities that becomes open to you when you no longer fear judgment, but release it. Allow yourself to be judged. Know and understand that God forgives all. God is merciful, especially to those who are willing to acknowledge their wrongdoings and change. And it's a page, so it's like we're in the beginning stages of this process. And it is a process. And we may never reach in this lifetime, you know, the level of king or, you know, master. And that's okay. As long as we are learning and growing, you don't have to master it all at one time. It is a process. As long as you are moving towards the right direction here and now and in the future, then the future becomes bright for all. And then again, when you come back at a future place and time, the world will already be a better place and you will have an easier go round the next time than you did this time. It's all about letting go. Letting go of the narcissists in your life, those who refuse to grow, change, heal, and or letting go of that part of yourself. Recognizing the need for change. Being willing to discern what in your own life and energy needs changing. And then dedicating yourself to making those changes, to talk the talk and walk the walk. Five of Swords. It's a battle. It's a spiritual battle. And it does begin within oneself. But sometimes we end up having to fight those battles energetically with others before we can even get to the point of looking at ourselves. You know, it's like saying everyone else is the problem, right? Until suddenly everyone else is gone. You're the only one left in the room, and you're still saying that everyone else is the problem. But how can that be when the only one left is you? It's that moment of reckoning. That moment of final judgment, where you have no choice but to admit that you are the problem. Yeah, maybe this person did that and that person did that, and if they hadn't done this, then you wouldn't have done that, but you allowed these people into life. So ultimately, that's still on you. We have the Chariot and the Queen of Wands. So the first three cards out are all major arcanas. Judgment, the Lovers, the Star. This is divinely orchestrated. This is the universe. This is universal energy. This is shit you have no control over, bitches. Okay? I'm sorry to put it that way, but it's true. And now we have the Chariot. God is in control here. You can deny it. You can fight it. You can try to control it. But ultimately, it will only lead to more pain and suffering and your ultimate demise. It's better to just allow God to work in your life, to use you in the way that God needs to use you in order to create a better, brighter future for everyone. Not just you, everyone. And that ultimately, it's not up to you. You don't get to decide. God does. Queen of Wands. This is, the King is an energy of giving and the Queen is energy of receiving. So this is receiving, right? And Page of Wands to Queen of Wands. So this is learning, growing, okay? In your actions, in your behavior, in your passion for truth, justice, wanting what God wants, okay? And being able to receive the good energy. Okay, and I wouldn't be surprised if I get the Magician come out here to transmute, right? I'm getting a little bit of that here with this Queen of Wands. It's about receiving and taking the energy, receiving the energy and turning it into something good. No matter what is thrown at you. You know, there's 6 of Wands here too. It's a major arcana, and then we have the Wands. We do have the 5 of Swords, but it's like a battle within the self. Again, I mean, that's Aries energy, right? Identity, self. It's about calling judgment on yourself. It is about being willing to work with God, with Spirit, with the energies around you. It is also about learning how to take the energy that is sent towards you, with the 5 of Swords here, negative energies possibly, and turning them around, allowing God to use you to transmute the energies into something positive and good for the world, for the universe. Queen of Wands too. I'm getting this as someone who knows how to handle their shit. So I feel a little bit of gaining control over your own self and emotions and what other people send towards you, and understanding that just because this is the energy that you're given doesn't mean that this is the energy that you have to take. Seven of Swords reverse. Yeah. Yeah. It's about, like I said before, calling judgment on yourself, coming clean, confession. This is what I've done. This is who I've been. That's not who I want to be. It didn't take me anywhere good. And instead of just throwing your hands in the air and saying, I'm done, or doubling down and saying, well, I'm just going to keep doing it anyways. It's about cleansing of your sins, right? Admitting, this is what I've done, this is where I went wrong, you know, yeah, this may have happened to me, but ultimately it was my decision how I handled it. And yeah, maybe I handled it wrong. And turning over a new leaf, being willing to, like I said before, you know, make the necessary changes in order to heal and grow and do better and be better. And it's like you're caught, you know what I mean? Getting caught. It's like you're caught. One way or another, you're caught. Whether you want to admit it or not, you've already been caught. You've been caught by the law. You've been caught by God, by Spirit, by the people around you, by yourself even. What's the point in being in denial of that? And I'm getting, with all this major arcana here, it's at a point where it's just undeniable. Whatever is going on is undeniable. And there is a point where the universe is saying, it's time. We're not going to go on like this anymore. A little bit of divine intervention. Yeah, 2 of Wands. I was going to say a little bit of divine intervention, and it feels slightly a loss of free will with the 5 of Swords and the Page of Wands here. Normally it's all about free will. You know, God gives us the choice, the free will to choose. But when there's divine intervention involved, it's a little bit of God taking some of that free will away and saying, no, now I have to step in, because this has gone on long enough. Yeah. And the Two of Wands and Judgment, it's about reckoning, a reconciling, a reconciliation with spirit, with truth, with God. And again, I'm getting for the best and highest good, right? And King of Pentacles. Why is the King of Pentacles here? The Sun. It's like wanting to be the boss, wanting to be in control, wanting to be in a position of authority. But you can only do that when all has been exposed. When you are willing to expose yourself, your deepest, darkest parts of yourself, to the world, to God. This is also about being exposed, whether you want to or not. God is exposing. God is revealing. It's revelation. Okay? It's in the Bible. These are the end times. These are the times that we are in. It is the end. There's a reason that Revelation is the last chapter in the Bible. And these are end time because, like I said, we are at the end of the age of Pisces and moving into the age of Aquarius. The stage is being set. The stage is being set for what the future brings. And this is the goal. Ultimately, this is the plan. The Two of Wands and the Sun. This is the plan. Happiness. Ultimate happiness. Positivity. Healing. All is well. To be healed. And we are going to get there because that is where the universe is taking us. It's already been decided. So it's like, get on board or get out of the way. Right, discipline. King of Pentacles, discipline. It's about self-discipline, right? Being able to call judgment on yourself. Being able to recognize the things and the parts about yourself that maybe aren't so great and being willing to work and change on them. Having the discipline to make good choices and good changes in order to get to the best and highest good outcome with the Sun here. Yeah. Anything else? What else do we need to know? Anything else? Yeah. Ten of Swords reverse. Can't get any worse. Recovery, regeneration, only up from here. An inevitable end. Lessons learned. It is the end. It is revelation. It is the new beginning. What have you learned from this ending that you can use and take with you into the new? In order to create the best possible outcome. I hope this has helped you in some way, shape, or form. I hope, if nothing else, it has entertained you for a few moments in time, and that if you haven't already, you will like, share, and subscribe